Welcome back to your mat. I'm Noelle and this is Noelle Roberts Studio, your place for all things Pilates and wellness. And today I am bringing you my top Pilates exercises that are great for sciatic pain. Now these are exercises that I would take clients through that have been dealing with sciatic pain. And this is not so much a workout, but really exercises that you can do that can support you when you're in the middle of dealing with pain or flare-ups with your sciatic nerve. Now, if you have dealt with this before, you know it is incredibly painful. It can be sharp, shooting, stabbing pain in your back, or it can even be like numbness and tingling. And it makes you kind of want to avoid certain movements. So sometimes you get really stiff in your body, kind of walking around on guard all the time. So this is designed to give you some place that you can just kind of relax and breathe and give you some go-to techniques that should really help support you and help you get through those flare-ups and actually bring stability and stabilization to that area that is causing that pain. So we're gonna get right into it. And to start, I'm just gonna have you lie all the way down on your back. Now do it carefully, especially if you're in the middle of a flare-up. It might be sensitive. So take your time getting there, but we're gonna roll all the way down onto our mat. Now from here, all I want you to do is relax as much as you can. You're gonna take your arms long by your side, let your collarbone open up and take a couple deep breaths in through your nose and then allowing it to release out through your mouth. And all I want you to think about right now is your pelvic floor moving with your breath. So as we inhale, the pelvic floor relaxes. As we exhale, we feel that lifting, that elevator of the pelvic floor. Inhale, relax. And exhale. That's all I want you to focus on. One more like that. Inhale. And exhale, feel that lift, that gentle internal lift. And from here, feel your feet are planted nice and heavy. All we're gonna do is add on with a little pelvic curl. So as you exhale and feel that pelvic floor lift, go ahead and tuck just gently through the tailbone and rock into your low back. And then inhale, allow the pelvis to come back to neutral. Exhale to rock and release. Now while you're rocking through these, I want you to just notice it's a very small movement. Don't be gripping and tightening and straining. It should just be gentle. This whole little progression is about easing your body and being supportive to your body. You're also going to notice the stabilization happening through your pelvis. Now that sciatic nerve runs through the back of your pelvis and it gets pinched, and that's when you have that flare up or that pain happening. So this whole idea is about really stabilizing through that area that can be somewhat unstable and can pinch that nerve. Let's do one more little rock. Exhale, you can even put your hands on your pelvis if that feels good, just to give you some awareness. And then inhale, coming back to that neutral. Now on your exhale, I want you to go into a full bridge, but we're gonna take it slow. We're gonna have the arms heavy by the side. Exhale, go through that little pelvic curl, and then begin to slowly lift off of your mat, one bone at a time, rolling up just to your shoulder blades. Inhale at the top, and then exhale, melt yourself down. Really think about lowering yourself one little bone at a time in your back. Trying not to skip any, but go in that sequential order and finding neutral. Again, exhaling. Trying to find ease here. Remember, this is not about toughing it out or pushing through pain. This is about supporting your body right now and giving it what it needs so that it will reward you later on, giving you what you need, which would be no pain, right? That would be great. And roll it all the way down. Trying to relax through the shoulders and the neck. Inhale at the top. And exhale, rolling down. Now the benefit of bridge, not only are you starting to get that movement through your upper spine that can sometimes get stiff when you're in that bracing mode, but it's also going to build some strength in your glutes and your hamstrings, which we want in order to help keep more stability in our pelvis on our day-to-day. Let's do two more. Exhale. If it feels good, let it feel good. Enjoy it if it feels enjoyable. If it doesn't feel good or any exercise that we do here starts to feel painful, I want you to stop immediately. Just stop that movement and rest for a moment. Good. Now from here, take a nice deep breath in. And we're gonna do a little bit of a figure 4 stretch. So all I want you to do is take your right ankle over your left knee and hold it here. Now this may be plenty of stretch for you. A lot of times when we have sciatic, we're also tight in the piriformis and the glute. So this may be plenty for you, but if it's not and you wanna make it a little bit more intense, you can go ahead and hold on behind the back of that opposite thigh, or you could even hold on to the shin on the front of that leg and just get a nice juicy stretch for that hip and glute. Now it's important that we're releasing, right? So take an inhale and every exhale just let it go. If there's a sigh or a moan that comes out, that's okay too. All sounds are welcome. And exhale. Just relaxing and releasing into it. One more. And slowly release the leg down. Step that left ankle over the right knee. And again, this might be plenty for you. If it is, stay here. Otherwise, go ahead and step it up a notch, whatever feels good for you. And just breathing and holding in that figure 4. Trying to relax, trying to release those muscles that have seized up and gotten really tight. It's like they're always on and they're always firing, trying to protect you, especially when you're in those sciatic moments. And one more deep breath in. Go ahead and lower it down. And from here, we're gonna do gentle little knee opening. And I want you to you're gonna bring both knees together. And we're just gonna take our hands to stabilize us by our sides. So you're gonna inhale, let your knees dip toward me. So gentle little rotation. Try to keep your pelvis stacked and together. And keeping that opposite shoulder blade on the mat. Only go as far as you can by keeping that shoulder blade down. Deep breath in. To that little rotation, and then exhale, the whole pelvis comes back up using those abdominals to bring yourself to center. Inhale, take it to the other side. Go where you can and where it feels good. You want this to feel good. Look for spaces in your body that it feels safe and it feels good. And then using that exhalation, think about your hip bones, almost like they're squeezing toward each other to come back to center. It's like you're strapping a seatbelt around your hips. Let's do one more to each side. We're gonna inhale to tip over, taking a nice deep breath into it. And then using that exhale, think about squeezing your hip bones toward each other, bringing it all the way back to center. Last time, other side. And if it feels good, you're welcome to stay here. That's perfectly fine. You can just kind of keep going side to side. And that exhalation, it's your core bringing you back up. Good. And then from here, I want you to keep your knees where they are. You're gonna take your hands behind your head just for a little support, and then you're just going to let yourself roll over onto your side. So go ahead and come over onto your side facing me. Everything comes over, and you're going to let your elbows close toward each other. Your knees are just gonna stay stacked right where they are. They're not doing anything else. On your inhale, you're going to let that top elbow open up. These are book openers, really good for a little thoracic mobility. And thoracic is your mid back. So just getting a little bit of opening and rotation there. That area can get really stiff, and believe it or not, it can contribute to pain in our sciatic. And exhale, bring it back. One more. Inhale, open. And again, if any of these feel really good and you just want to hang out in some of these stretches, by all means, feel free to do that. This is more just a guide for you to find a place that feels a little bit more at ease and a little bit of relief. And then go ahead and use your hands to help you. You're gonna press yourself up. Again, I like to keep my knees together, my hips stacked as I move through here so that I'm not jerking or yanking my pelvis out of alignment. Let's go ahead to the other side. So I'm just gonna turn my back to you. We're going to the other side. Knees stay stacked, elbows are closed, and our head is just resting in our arms. Inhale, we open up through that top arm, allowing that thoracic to stretch, but keeping the hips stacked, right? We're not trying to jerk or pull our pelvis out of alignment. Big inhale, and exhale, close it in. There's no judgment too of how far you can go, what you can or can't do. That can be really challenging when you're in the place of pain and feeling limited. It can be really challenging to not kind of should on yourself. I should be able to do this. I should be able to move more. But just take it for today. Tomorrow's going to be a different day. It's gonna, your whole body is gonna be different tomorrow. But today, honor what is and bring it all the way back. Use your hands to help you. Come back, bring those knees together and come back onto your mat. Beautiful. So from here, I want you to go ahead and help yourself roll all the way up. Take your time to get there. And I'm gonna show you this little technique seated. Now, if it feels uncomfortable to be sitting here, everything just feels a little tight and achy, by all means, prop yourself up on a pillow or sit on the edge of a chair or a couch. That's perfectly fine to do that. This little technique is called shotgun technique. And this is actually something I did a lot when I was pregnant because I had a lot of instability in my pubic bone, which is the front of my pelvis. Now, sciatica is in the back, but it's same rules kind of apply here for getting that pelvis to align. And this is one of the best things that you could do. Brought me so much relief. And I know for a lot of my clients that have dealt with sciatica pain, brings them a lot of relief as well. So keeping your feet flat on the mat, sitting up nice and tall, all you're gonna do is use your hands on the outsides of your knees. Now I'm gonna turn to face you just so you can see what we're doing here. But your outsides of your knees, you're gonna sit up tall, and all you're gonna do is a gentle press. Your knees are gonna push into your hands and feel that tension and just sit there tall for 7 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Inhale. And then exhale, we do it again. Exhale, press into those hands. 7, 6, 5, it's just gentle. I'm not moving. I'm just pressing against those hands, and those hands are pressing against my knees. And relax. One more time. Exhale, press against those hands. 6, 5, 4, 3, just gentle pressure. 2, 1, and relax. Now from here, we're gonna do an internal press. You're gonna take your hands, make little fists with them, place it right inside the knee. And from there, sit up tall. As you exhale, I want you to squeeze your knees against your fist for 7 seconds. So here we go. We squeeze. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Now, believe it or not, that little technique is really helpful for just stabilizing and aligning the pelvis. And that is really good to do throughout the day, especially if you're in a stage right now that's really sensitive, or you're in a flare-up, or you just find that it's spasming a lot right now. This is a great one to do throughout the day. You could even do it a couple times in a row until you feel a little bit of relief, but that brings a lot of relief to that area of your body. So throughout the day, doing that a couple times is going to really, really help and be really beneficial for your pelvis. Now from there, all I want you to do is move over onto your hands and your knees and do it carefully. Take your time to get there. There's no rush. The other tip I do want to give you guys before we get into the hands and knees here is when you're getting in and out of your car. This is something you don't think about very often, but when we're getting in and out of our car, a lot of times we like to swing one leg out and then the other and step out of our car. And this can kind of tweak or torque on the pelvis. So what I want to encourage you to do, this is just a random tip, came to me just now, but when you're getting out of your car, think, whether you're a man or woman, think ladylike thoughts and keep your knees together and swivel yourself like so, put your feet on the ground and then get out of your car from there. That's really gonna help stabilize the pelvis, especially if you're in that place where it's just in a lot of pain and it's really bothering you. That's a really, really good one because it's just one of those things we don't think about. We do it really instinctually. And man, can we really tweak the pelvis just by doing that. Now from here, I've got my knees in parallel. So they're not externally rotated like yoga. My knees are parallel directly out of my hip and they're pointing straight to the mat. On the inhale, all I want you to do is lead with your tailbone. So I want you to think about not tucking your tail under, but thinking about lifting your tail up to the sky slightly. So we're in more of a tilted position. And I want you to inhale here and reach that tailbone straight back towards your heels. Now we're not really like sitting and rounding the back, we're just pressing back gently. And exhale, feel again that seatbelt effect around your tummy to come back. Inhale, shoot that tailbone out and behind you. Feel that deep hinge in your hip. And then exhale, feel that TVA, that transverse turn on. Inhale, one more. These are little pelvic hinges. And again, another one I did a lot when I was pregnant, because when you're pregnant, your pelvis is really unstable. You've got all that relaxin and everything in your body that's creating all of your joints to be really, really unstable. So these are great for it. Now on this one, I want you to change it up a little bit. You're going to turn your knees slightly inward. So they're turning to face each other, right? So my knees have gone from being parallel here to a slight internal rotation where my legs are shooting out to the side, just slightly. We're not forcing anything. We're not doing anything crazy. You've not joined the circus. Take an inhale. Same idea though, tailbone is lifted, slightly elevated here. And inhale, push it back. Now you'll notice you probably can't go quite as far in that internal rotation, and that's okay, that's really normal. Exhale, same rules apply to come back up. Inhale to shoot it back. Try to keep lifting, lifting, lifting that tail. And exhale. One more. Inhale, shoot it back. And exhale. Coming back up. Good. Come back to parallel one more time. And go ahead and give yourself a nice deep stretch all the way back to those heels if it feels good. Reach those arms out. Let your head roll in. Take a breath. Breathe right into that back, that low back. And then exhale, slowly roll yourself all the way up. And the last thing we're gonna do here is a mermaid stretch. It's really good to move laterally, even here. So I'm gonna sit in a Z-sit position with one leg out to the side and the other leg in front of me. But again, if this doesn't feel good or it hurts through that low back, sit up on a chair or prop yourself up on a box or on a blanket here. That would be great. From here, reach the arms out wide. You're gonna take one hand to the mat, lift the opposite arm over, just getting a nice big side stretch. But again, we're trying to stabilize through the pelvis, so we're not popping and lifting and moving the pelvis. And then exhale to bring it up, counter stretch, lifting up and shooting that arm over. So nice big stretch here for the side. And release. One more. Inhale to bring it up and exhale over. Nice big side stretch. Really reach through it. Inhale to bring it up and exhale for that counter stretch. Really wringing it all out. Inhale to lengthen, and let's switch legs. Opposite leg comes in front, and then the opposite leg goes off to the side and back. Take an inhale, find that height in your spine, and exhale, we tip it over to the side, getting that beautiful side stretch while keeping the pelvis steady. Inhale to bring it up, and exhale, take it over. Can rotate your head if that feels good. And inhale, one more to each side. Exhaling over, opening again through that thoracic, through the upper back, and center. Over for that stretch. Reach, more than think about rounding over, think about reaching up and out. And bring it all the way up. Go ahead and just sit comfortably here for a moment. Let your pelvis be nice and heavy on the mat. Feel that you're balanced between your sit bones and that pubic bone. You're not rolling back too far. You're not too far forward. And then just let your arms rest for a moment. Let that work kind of settle into your body for a second. If it feels good to sit on the edge of a chair or a bed, you can absolutely do that too. Let's take a couple deep breaths in here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just letting everything go when you exhale, just releasing it. Inhale and exhale. One more time, deep breath in exhaling everything out. Good. And great job coming to your mat and still moving, even in the midst of something that's super painful. You know, it can be really challenging to make time for yourself and to even have the motivation to want to move when you're in pain. So I congratulate you for doing that. Come back to this as often as you need. Take what you want from this. If there's a couple exercises in here that really spoke to your body and seemed to really help you, by all means, incorporate those throughout your day-to-day so that you can be finding not only a little bit more strength and stability in your pelvis, but ease and enjoyment of just being free of that crazy pain that comes with sciatica. So I hope that helps you guys, and I will see you all back on your mat very soon.